and I am going to be making a video for safety precautions in an organic chemistry lab. Organic chemistry is very, very useful when it comes to synthesizing materials for electronics and for medicine. Most of you will probably taking organic chemistry as a course, and it does have a lab section. And this is a typical organic chemistry lab, and most of you probably have this notebook for your organic chemistry lab. This video is going to consist of 4 sections. First one is going to be on lab attire. The second one is going to be on safety. The third is going to be on lab etiquette, and the fourth is going to be on hazards. For this first part, I have with me here Denise, and we are going to start this video. So this is part 1 of the lab safety for organic chemistry, and this is going to be on lab attire.
So it doesn't matter if he has MS or not, you will always get.
So for this part, I'm going to ask you guys to spot what you think was wrong with her attire. So this is part 2, and it's on safety precautions, and it also shows when you're not properly dressed to lab what can happen, especially if there's horseplay going on in the lab, which is not condoned.
Hey, how's it going? Hey. Oh no, oh sorry. Oh my god, are you okay?
So she just got acid poured on her legs, and the first thing is Janice is going to go get someone in charge. That could be a TA or a professor or a lab instructor. So she now is going to quickly rinse stuff from her hands, because that's the closest area for her. Go towards the shower, which will release a lot of water and completely remove all the acid from her body. This is the third part of the video wash. This is the eye wash station, and other safety precautions when there's a fire is the fire extinguisher, a fire blanket which you can put over someone who is on fire. You have the emergency power button. You also have switch turn lights on. This is the cabinet C, which contains most of the chemicals that I'll be using in the lab. And for organic chemistry labs at UTA, before you come to your lab, in writing your notebook, you have to include this is the cabinet C, which contains most of the chemicals that I'll be using in the lab. And for organic chemistry labs at UTA, before you come to your lab, in writing your notebook, you have to include material safety data sheets for every chemical you're using, so you can know what's hazardous about the chemical, so you can know how to handle it properly. And you can also know how to put in the right locations, because some chemicals are easily flammable and you don't want to put them over a burning fire. So this is part 3 about safety in lab, and this has to do with lab etiquette. One of the 2 most important things in the lab is about food and drinks, which are definitely not allowed in the lab, and the other thing has to do with washing your hands, because you're dealing with so many chemicals, and even through these gloves, water can get chemical substance can get into your hands, and then you end up touching other people or other parts of your body like your hair or your face, and can lead to contamination.
Hey, I'm kind of hungry. I have some snacks here. Here, but we should probably take our gloves off. You know, maybe we can do this. Oh no, I got some acid or something. It's okay. Oh, that kind of looks like water. I feel like. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's water. Yeah, you just like take a drink. My face is tingling. It's weird. Are you okay? You don't look so good. I should have had that. Oh no. I should get a TA. Hang on, I'll be right back.
As part of lab safety, all work needs to be done under a hood, and all lab equipment should still be worn, including goggles. Also to be very careful with items in the hood, and also to be very careful with items. Also being very careful with your head, and just not to hit or injure yourself. This is part 4 of the video, and it has to do with hazards. That is why it's definitely important for you to be very sure on how to dispose the waste. And your TA will probably will most likely mention that in class, and it will also be in your lab manual. For this lab, the two main wastes that we have right now are halogenated and non-halogenated. Non-halogenated waste is usually disposed of through burning, and just goes into the atmosphere. But halogenated waste, if it is burnt, can harm the ozone layer. So it's very important that these two are very separated together. And also, different chemical substances that shouldn't be mixed together can lead to explosions or fumes that can be hazardous to everyone in the lab.
I'm not really sure if this is halogenated or non-halogenated, but I'll just pick one and just kind of throw it in here. Passive? Oh, I don't think it matters. It's okay.
Unfortunately, that was base, and base and acids are known to react very violently and can lead to explosions in the lab. End of the lab safety video, and if you're done watching this, you should be prepared for your organic chemistry lab. We've seen a lot of mishaps that could happen today, one of which is fire.
No, I'm on fire! Oh no! There's a fire going in!